Hi, it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK, and I'm going to show you how I made this card. It uses stenciling, and I've got the sentiment is heat embossed in white from Snowflake Wishes, and I've used some of the wonderful snowflakes on this sample, but I've run out of those, so I'm using a couple. I've got one left. We made this in class this week, so I've got one which I'll use, and then I've die cut a couple of snowflakes from this So Many Snowflakes dies that coordinate with this stamp set. I'm going to use those, and I've used the white. Oh, it's fluffy. It's not fluffy, it's I don't know what it is. Anyway, really pretty, so I'm going to use those instead on the front, and I'm just going to get on with the card. So I've got two inks, Misty Moonlight and Coastal Cabana, so we'll get those ready. And this is the cardstock that I've used. I've got a base of Coastal Cabana, and that is 20 centimeters by 20.5 centimeters scored at 10, and then I've got a layer of Coastal Cabana for the front, which is 9.5 centimeters by 20 centimeters, and a piece of Whisper White exactly the same for the inside. And I've got a bit of Misty Moonlight, and this is what I'm going to heat emboss the sentiment with, using Versamark and white heat embossing. The only other thing I'm using, I've got a retired gem that I need to use for my stash, and I've got some of this beautiful glittery organdy ribbon. But I'll show you how I made the background. And I've used one of the, what are they called, Adorning Design decorative masks. So I've used the snowflake one, but there's 3 other patterns here which are really pretty, and I'm going to use the snowflake die on here. So let's get a scrap of paper. Save my grid paper. What I did for this is I've got some huge post-it notes, and I'm having a sort of even border top and bottom. Pop that there and that there, and it holds down the stencil and the card. And then I've got a Misty Moonlight blending brush with a Misty Moonlight, and I'm just going to go over these snowflakes through the die and add some dark colour. Hopefully this is clear. I had my card classes this week, and this was one of the projects that my ladies made. Oh, too near to the edge and not gripping enough. You have to be a little bit delicate with this mask, only because it's got so many sort of little bits, so you have to be a little bit delicate. You can see a little bit that's come up there. It's dark already outside, and I'm I'm hoping you don't hear too much of the neighbours doing their work. They're renovating next door and they need to do it. They both work full time, so they need to do it in the evenings and weekends. So I'm not complaining, but hopefully you can't hear that. So that's enough of the blue, but if you weren't sure, you could just pick that up and just move one side of it to check that you were happy with that. Move that out of the way. Fabulous. Oh. So I got a little bit there, but I'm not worried about that, where it moved, where it shifted. Nice and inky. And I'm going to come in with another blending brush and some Coastal Cabana. And just come in on the edge. I'm trying to darken that up, and I'm applying quite a lot of pressure. Coming in, starting off and coming in from the edge is the way I always like to do it. And just building up that colour. So we've been having, I'm having a crafty day today, last couple of days. It's been our annual event, but like last year, we're having a virtual event rather than an in-person. So that's been fun, connecting with people from around the world, other demonstrators. I think there were 10,000 demonstrators from Europe that I could see on our platform that are logged in this morning, which is amazing. And you can see that's just darkening up that cardstock, but it's leaving it light on the inside. I'm not going to worry about doing that too much longer, but you can see it's bringing the colour in. Let's do a little bit more. I may need to re-ink my ink pad after everybody else doing this. That's it. I'm happy with that. So let's do that. And I've got the white bit of card. I'll try and make sure that I don't get inky fingers on here. Ooh. And I'm going to do a two-tone effect. So I've inked the Stamp Up in Coastal Cabana. And then I've got a little dauber, and I'm just going to add a little bit of blue. Know that there's a bit of blue on there. It's quite a heavy colour, so I just want to go around the edge, and I'm sort of coming in from the edge, and that way you don't get it on all of it, you just get it on some. And do one on there. Fabulous. Let's just clean that off in between. I'm cleaning that off in between because I don't want any of the misty moonlight to get onto my Coastal Cabana ink pad. So that's there. I just love those two-tone effects. That's that and that's that. Clean that off. very much as we go. And I think that is all I need that for. I'm going to get my heat embossing. And I've just realised I haven't got my machine plugged in. Never mind. I'll use my anti-static bud there. Let's just get my machine plugged in. Okay, so get the Versamark on the stamp. Stamp that in the middle and count. Look at the state. Look at the state of it. Fabulous. And I've got these little spoons here to help me. Ooh. Fabulous. This is where the magic happens. And you can see it turn. Fabulous. And I'm going to use this die and cut that out. There it is. Now the last bit I'm going to do actually is I want to do a little bit of a splatter effect on here. So I've got some Whisper White pigment ink. I'm just going to put a little dab on there. There we go. Add a drop of water. Lovely. And then without squeezing, I'm going to just add, hopefully, let me turn that way. I don't want to get it over my laptop, which is in the way. It. Take that to one side, I'll clean that in a moment. And I'm just going to bring my heat gun back and dry that. And I'm drying that because pigment ink actually takes longer to dry. A little bit of Wink of Stella. And then we've got some double-sided tape. And what have I done with the ribbon? It's hiding, honestly. Organised chaos. So we want 2 strips. Just everything is in the wrong place after class, which means I should have just got a little bit more organised, shouldn't I, before starting my videos. There we are, 2 bits of the ribbon. And I want one at the top and one at the bottom, so I am going to put a little bit of the tear and tape, top and bottom, where I want my ribbon. And the great thing is you're just not going to see that. Once it's all done. And the ribbon on my original card was a bit of a mistake because I put school lines in it but it just didn't look right. I know, we all make design flaws. So then it's just a case of putting this together, and I'm going to use some wet glue. Don't need that much. I am going to take that off because we may as well use that as double-sided as well as securing that ribbon. Oh. All fingers and thumbs. So I will put links down below to my blog and my online store. So if you wanted to purchase any of these items, you can do. That will cover up that little faux pas very nicely. So here we go. That's the only thing that's going to go up on dimensionals. So we've got some mini dimensionals. I'm not sure where my big ones have gone. We shall pop those there just to give a little bit of height. He goes there. I was giggling a little bit because I put the wrong die in the basket with all the supplies for the card yesterday, for the card class yesterday. There we go. I don't want to hide very much of that. So just going to add little bits of glue. Doesn't need much, as you know. I am going to tuck that under there a little bit. And this snowy white paper, I think it's snowy white paper, is in the mini catalogue. And it's sort of suede-y, is that a word? Fabulous. And this, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue in the centre there. And pop that one there. We know we like having things in threes, and as I said, I am actually using, I did use up some, I'm using up some very old glitter gems that I've got. So I've got some in Coastal Cabana, so that is absolutely perfect. And I'm going to pop one in there, one in there, one in there, and then that can go on the inside with a little bit of glue. go. Nice border around there. And then that. Oh. Ooh. Leave my bone folder, and that is a slightly different version of that. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and do leave me a comment. I would love to know what you think of this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.